The Eastern Conference Finals stand 2-0 in favor of the Milwaukee Bucks, who take Game 2 convincingly 125-103 as they file out of Fiserv Forum and head to Toronto for Games 3 and 4 Sunday and Tuesday here on T.
They crack it outside, they crack it inside.
Oh, yeah.
Milwaukee on point, Ernie.
Yes, indeed. They are excited about these Bucks. First time not only going to the conference finals, they hadn't won a series since 2001. And here they're up 2-0 in the Eastern Conference Finals. It is Inside the NBA presented by Kia. Ernie and Shaq and Kenny and Charles. And the highlights of this one.
It was quick and painless.
And you said, Charles, beforehand, you had a feeling that it would go down like this.
It would go a beat down like this, Ernie, because they came out sluggish in Game 1. They were not going to come out sluggish in Game 2. They were going to put their foot on their neck. It was quick and painless tonight.
You saw Mirotic for 3, and then off the turnover, Giannis.
And if you look at Giannis's numbers, 30 and 17, like most great superstars, if I have a subpar Game 1, Game 2, I'm coming out.
Malcolm Brogdon, yeah, go ahead.
Malcolm came in and played extremely well off the bench, still shooting the ball extremely well, but defensively he even did some things pretty well against Kawhi.
Brook Lopez has the block, the white shirts in transition. George Hill, who didn't score from the field in the opener, finishes there.
Man.
After one, it was 35-21. Ersan Ilyasova.
Got him. I'll tell you what, man, they bench has been fantastic.
Well, they got contributions all over the place tonight. Ilyasova again off the steal.
Got the bench mob is the bench mob.
Man, look like Barcelona trying to. Oh, remember him, Chuck?
Yeah.
Sarunas.
It was 64-39 at the half. Remember, Nick Nurse said, let's chip away and try to make it interesting. They got it from 28 down to 13 at one point, but that's as interesting as it got.
Well, I always tell people, when you're down 13, you're still down 13.
That's
good to know. Analysis.
Hey, nobody walks around saying, hey, we only down 13.
There's three things that can happen when you're down 13.
You can either stay down 13,
stay down 13.
or cut it some more, or fall farther behind.
There it is.
And they fell farther behind. 125-103.
Hey,
the
Ernie,
final, yes.
I don't know a lot about basketball. That's not a good coaching strategy. Hey, we're only down 13.
If you were down 28, it doesn't sound as bad.
Yeah, it does not sound as bad, but it don't sound good either.
Yeah, and it sounds even worse when it winds up 22.
Oh, yes,
it was a blowout.
Don't do that to that baby.
I love that. Hey, Kevin McKay, I love that.
That's nice.
That is sweet. That's like the lady in Utah.
You can't do that to that baby.
So the Bucks lead it 2-0. They are now 10-1 overall in these playoffs. 8 of their 10 wins have been by double digits. This team is rolling, Shaq.
Listen, they're focused. Everybody's, contributing. And look, they were rusty from Game 1. Giannis didn't play well in Game 1. I said earlier, you have to put him in that category of a superstar. I don't know who's in his ear. I don't know who's talking to him, but, he definitely knows what it takes. And a guy like that, you're not going to, he's not going to let himself score 17 points 2 games in a row. He wants it. Chrissy just asked about the MVP. He's like, I don't care about that. I just want to go to Toronto and get a win.
Yeah, but
I like the way everybody's playing.
I want to give a shout out to that general manager. The pieces he's added to this team, that's been the difference between Milwaukee this year and last year. He's added some nice pieces.
John Horst, you're talking
about.
Yes,
you got to give him a lot of credit. I mean, obviously, Giannis and Middleton, they're both all-stars. But the other pieces fit very nicely.
Let's go to the other side of this. Okay, so Kawhi goes for 31. He's had 9 games of at least 30 in these playoffs. You lose by 22. Tell me what the positive is that you take back to Toronto out of these 2 games.
Well, no one has really come to the party on a consistent basis in this series, other than Kawhi. And it has to be a concerted effort to someone and say, well, I'm not going to play this poorly multiple times. And I'm talking about Lowry. I'm talking about Gasol. I'm talking about
Gasol,
Ibaka.
3 for 20 in the series.
Because there were controllable errors that most of those guys had. And to me, that was the difference. Mental preparation in this environment makes you a champion or makes you go home. And you cannot have mental errors the way Toronto had. You can lose big, but you can't lose big the way they lost today.
And, Siakam has to understand. We kind of gave up on Lowry being the number 2. We said, Siakam, the way you played in the last 2 series, you're the number 2. But ever since game 4, 5, and 6 in Philly, he really hasn't been the Siakam that gives you high 20 points.
One of my favorite coaches was Paul Silas. I asked him one year when I was in Phoenix, I said, what kind of team we got? He says, oh, we're going to suck. I said, Coach, I think we got a good team. He said, no, we don't. He says, when I don't know what I'm going to get every night, that makes it very difficult for us to coach.
Yeah.
He says, if a guy get me 30 one night and 10 the next night, people are going to say, he averaging 20. That's what's happening with the Toronto Raptors right now. Guys might get me 20 or they might get me 6. That's not going to beat this Bucks team, because the one thing about Milwaukee, they got guys who can score. Like, we know that Kawhi Leonard can score. We're not getting nothing out of Ibaka, Gasol, Siakam, or Kyle Lowry. We got guys coming in on the Milwaukee bench who are getting double digits. That's going to be very difficult for them. So the positive is we're going back to Toronto. That's the only positive thing.
Brogdon 14, Ilyasova 17 off of that Milwaukee bench. It's a 125 to 103 win. No, come on now.
Look at the guy chewing popcorn.
That's your favorite part about that.
About
That's the guy eating in the background. I got you. The Raptors, by the way, 0-5 Toronto is when they allow 100 points.
When you're down 13, you're still down 13.
You're still down.
You're like, you say we're down 28. Like, yeah, we're still down 13.
Well, he said, let's chip away, and that was the result of the chipping away.
Cracking in Milwaukee, Ernie.
Yeah.